If someone had told me a month ago that one day I'd walk into my own house and find my wife locked in an embrace with another man, I would have laughed and said she wasn't the type. But life has a way of proving that the people you trust most can break you the fastest. Her name is Saba. For 10 years, she was everything I believed in, my comfort, my partner, my anchor. Or so I thought. The day I discovered her cheating was so ordinary that it almost felt cruel. I came home early from work because a project finished ahead of schedule. I even stopped by a bakery to get her favorite pastries. A small surprise. Something thoughtful. When I walked inside, the house was strangely quiet. No TV, no music, not even her humming. I assumed she might be napping. I placed the pastries on the table, and that's when I heard it, a voice. A man's voice. Low, confident, way too familiar with the space. My heart stopped for half a second. I walked toward the hallway, and there they were, Saba and a man I'd never seen before. And the look she gave me, it wasn't guilt. It wasn't regret. It was annoyance, like I had interrupted her moment. This isn't what it looks like, she finally stuttered, pulling away from him. I just nodded. It looks exactly like what it is. She scrambled for excuses, stress, feeling lonely, needing attention. All the usual lines. Her lover slipped out quietly like a thief avoiding trouble. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't throw anything. I didn't cry. I just walked out the door. Because anger makes you loud, but betrayal makes you quiet. I drove around for an hour, thinking, really thinking. And while my chest felt tight, there wasn't sadness. There was clarity. She had made her choice, so I needed to make mine. No screaming, no begging, no dramatic fights. Something cleaner. Something sharper. And that's when I saw her, our neighbor, Alicia. Alicia had just moved into the neighborhood a few months earlier. She was polite, friendly, and hardworking. I'd helped her carry a few boxes when she first arrived. Since then, we'd said small hellos whenever we crossed paths. She was the kind of person who radiated calm and kindness. That day, she was struggling with a grocery bag that had ripped open on her driveway. Cans had rolled everywhere. Without thinking, I stopped the car and got out. "You need help?" I asked. She exhaled in relief. "Please. Today is just not my day." I picked up the cans, handed them back, and she thanked me. Then she noticed my face, tight, controlled, but not normal. "Are you okay?" she asked gently. I could have lied. But instead, I told her the truth, not the whole story, just enough. Rough day at home. She didn't press. She just nodded and said, "Come inside for a minute. You look like you need to breathe." I didn't plan anything. I didn't walk in to make a statement. I just wanted to reset my thoughts. She made tea. We talked about nothing serious, her work, the neighborhood, small things. And for a moment, I felt my chest loosen. When I left her house, she said, "If you ever need help, just knock. You're a good neighbor." That's when the idea formed, not out of spite, not out of jealousy, but out of balance. My wife had dragged a stranger into our home. I would bring someone whose presence alone would shake her confidence. Nothing inappropriate. Nothing romantic. Just simple, strategic revenge. The next day, I returned to Alicia's with a plate of the pastries I never got to share at home. I said, "Thanks for the tea yesterday. My wife and I have some things to discuss, and I could use your advice on something." She nodded. "Sure. What do you need?" "Actually," I said, "could you come over for a few minutes? It'll be easier to explain there." She agreed without hesitation because she trusted me as a decent neighbor, and that was all I needed. When she walked beside me to my front door, I saw the curtains shift. Saba was watching. And she froze when we walked in together. Alicia smiled politely. "Hi. I'm your neighbor from next door. I hope it's okay I came by." Saba's face went pale, her eyes narrowing, her posture stiff. I said calmly, "I wanted to talk about what happened yesterday. But first, tea." Saba stared at me, then at Alicia, then back at me, confusion and panic swirling in her eyes. She had expected shouting, crying, drama. Instead, she got something far worse. My silence and another woman's presence in our living room, not as a lover, not as a threat, but as a reminder. You are not the only woman people respect. As we sat down, Saba fidgeted, unable to handle the calmness. She whispered, "Why is she here?" I replied, "Because you brought someone into this house yesterday. I figured it's only fair I show you how it feels." Her eyes filled with tears, not from sadness, but from the sting of understanding. Alicia, completely unaware of the context, just offered support, saying, "You both seem tense. If you need space, I can step out." But I shook my head. "No. You're fine." Saba finally broke. "I made a mistake," she whispered. "But this is cruel." I looked at her evenly. "No. This is balance." There was no yelling, no chaos, just a quiet moment that cut deeper than any argument could. Later, after Alicia left, Saba begged for forgiveness. But something in me had already shifted. Trust doesn't snap loudly. It breaks silently. And once it's broken, it rarely fits the same way again.